Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to continue my discussions on mental toughness today by talking about what it means to never give up. Okay, so this is a very important aspect of building resilience, like mental resilience. Your will to fight, like that has to be strengthened. Your resolve has to be trained and developed. And you do that by not giving up when things get hard. Okay, so we all have a breaking point. Every single one of us does. Like if push comes to shove and we're under so much stress, so much intensity, like we are going to break at some point, right? Whether it's physical breakdown, mental breakdown, a combination of both, depending upon the circumstance and the scenario you find yourself in. So, however, what we can do is meet each challenge with that never quit attitude, right? So, some challenges are going to be harder than others, but if we train ourselves to see things through, okay, I'm uncomfortable right now. I didn't plan to stop right now. I plan to stop after X, Y, and Z. Well, keep pushing until you get to X, Y, and Z. And if something outside of your control forces you to stop, then that's not you quitting. At that particular time, you reset, you figure out how to go further, and then when the opportunity presents itself, you move forward again and try to accomplish X, Y, and Z. So essentially, the only time you really are done or you fail is when you give up. So you don't give up. You keep pushing. And I know it's easy. It's easy to understand in theory. It's a simple concept, but it's definitely not easy in practicality. So I understand that. But I want you to remember this. If you give up today, you better, you're training your ability to quit. So you're training how to be a quitter. So if you give up today, the next time you're posed with a challenge or something that's uncomfortable, you're probably going to quit, right? The only time you stop being a quitter is when you decide today I'm drawing the red line in the sand and I am putting my foot down and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to see this through. Um, to talk about, a little bit of buds and stuff like that, again, those evolutions were extremely hard. Um, everybody knows about SEAL training and all these other things, but I've also thought about all the little intricacies of those processes that made the overall experience very challenging. And it wasn't necessarily one evolution, like, oh yeah, this evolution, this 3 hour block of time, where we're doing these things was so hard that it made me want to quit. It's like, no, that's not really how it was. It was just all the little stresses and the ankle biters and the nagging pain and the fatigue and the discomfort and just not really getting much rest and just feeling like it's never going to end, day in and day out, being cold and just kind of feeling like, dude, I got to do this for 6 months. This is extremely uncomfortable. I don't want to do this anymore. But still finding the ability to focus in on what you're doing and just hold on a little longer and see it through to the next meal and then to the end of the day and then eventually to the weekend or when you have a day to recover. um, that was hard. And in those moments you have to be able to shift your perspective on intensity. So, like, for example, log PT was always notoriously difficult because you basically spend each session just holding a 200-pound log over your head for 30 minutes straight, no breaks. Just you're holding the log over your head in extended carry, just boom, holding it up there, and to the point where everybody's starting to fatigue and you can no longer hold the log up. And that's 30 minutes or so, right? I mean, literally. And then the next evolution within that evolution would be, okay, chest carry. Now we're going to lunge miles down the beach, and that's all we're doing. So these are just single movement, mind screwing events that you don't know are ever going to end. And sometimes the evolution only lasts 2 hours. Sometimes it goes for like 4 hours. So when you're in that moment, you're like, dude, we're probably going to do this all afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to mentally rig for pain and I'm just going to hold on, just one step at a time, 1 foot at a time, one lunge forward at a time. And I'm also grateful right now that I'm not freezing my balls off, but it kind of sucks. So I can't wait for them to put me back in the water, because then at least I'm laying down and I'm resting my muscles, and it's a different kind of suck. So instead of looking for a way out, like, man, I can't wait to get, I don't want to be here. I just want to be somewhere else. It's like, no, I'm looking forward to the next adversity, because it's something different. It's a different challenge, but I'm not looking for a way out. You see what I'm saying? So like it's that ability to shift your perspective from what you're doing. You know it's going to suck. Okay, you're doing endless calisthenics. Oh man, we're doing flutter kicks for 5 minutes right now. Okay, I can't wait for me to get back in the push-up position, because then I can rest my stomach and my legs, and now they're going to hammer my chest. So it's adjusting for the intensity and the pain, but it's not looking for a way out. It's not feeling sorry for yourself and looking for a way out. I also remember, like, when I was in the Marine Corps, going through recon, the basic recon course, and being up for two weeks straight, no food, like one meal a day, walking, 12 hours, 15 hours a day with a 100-pound ruck on your back, getting minimal sleep, and just kind of pushing. Again, it was just the same concept of, all right, like, just get to the next checkpoint, get to the next layup site, and then from there I'll be able to take my ruck off and, maybe get a little bit of rest. It's just looking towards that next milestone and keeping your world small. In combat dive school, we swam so many miles in the ocean with fins that I literally was rubbing holes into my feet. The tops of my feet, I had holes in my feet. I had holes in my heels. And then we'd have like a 6-mile ocean swim, and my feet are rubbed raw. So I remember I had to like tape them up. I literally had to tape them with duct tape, and just recognize that, okay, for the first 15 minutes of this swim, I'm going to be in so much pain, but then eventually the pain's going to numb to a point where I can deal with it for the next 2 hours, and that's basically what my mindset was. So again, guys, it's all about shifting your perspective, staying in the fight, and never giving up. All right, until next time, have a good one.